welcome to my channel. My name is Matt Bradford. Let's make sure this is pointed the right way. Today, we're going to talk about the Satellite Elmer amplifier. If you don't want to hear me talking, go right here. That's where the sound stuff is going to start. Okay. Before we get into that, though, let me just give you a little backstory on why I have this amp. I was at Woodwire Volts earlier this year, and it was really cool. And there were two amp builders there, right? There's Black Volt Amplification, who I was there doing some demo stuff for, and there's also Satellite Amps. Well, I got into the Satellite Amps booth, and I was like, well, these are awesome, right? And I was talking to Adam Grimm. He's the builder of Satellite Amps, and we were talking about weird tubes, because one of the things that's really, I love old but also non-traditional tubes, because I can get old ones for cheap. And I got to do a video eventually on the Darkos and the other Plexi, because they use weird tubes too. But the Elmer uses a 6AQ5 tube. And so that was really exciting for me. Now, currently in the Elmer, I have EL84s. What happened is, Adam and I were talking, and it's a whole long story, but basically, at the end of it, I settled on the Elmer. I wanted to get a Satellite amp. It was such a special experience, and this dude knows his stuff. These are the guys that carry on that tradition. This is when you look at it inside. I'll throw up a picture of the inside. I think I have a picture of the guts. It's all just on turret board, super clean, super simple, just volume and tone. It's like the perfect rock and roll amp. And when I got it, it's got EL84s in it. And I talked to Adam, and I called him. I was like, I think I got the wrong amp. And he was like, no, bro. There's adapters for the 6AQ5s because people were complaining that they couldn't get replacement tubes. Now, if you can't find the replacement tubes, I think you should just Google it. But I was able to get tubes for $5 each, like old black plate RCAs and old GEs for $5 each. These old cool 6AQ5s. So currently in the amp, I have EL84s, and we're gonna go through that right now in a second. We're gonna talk about the other stuff, and then we're gonna throw the 6AQ5s in. I have actually not put them in yet. I've never put them in. I'm really excited to try the 6AQ5s and see how they sound compared to the EL84s. So first things first. Using an Apocalypse machine today. I built these. They're not for sale, but you can get plenty. There's plenty of great lap steels out there. This is a Righteous Sounds diadem in the bridge, and I have a noiseless single coil in the neck. I'm going to use a Super Overdrive and also a Kasleder Pelion, which is basically a Klon style pedal to hit the amp, just to hear what that sounds like as well. Now, the amp has two controls. It has a volume control and a tone control. And in the booth here, and I'll put a picture of this up on the screen, but it's not accessible with the camera, I have the Satellite 112, and I've mic'd it up right now using a Mesanovic Model 2 going into a CAPI VP28, and I've also got an SM57 going through a Lauren Audio Panther. And then those are feeding Logic. I have a little bit of reverb and delay just because, especially in my booth, it's so dry, it doesn't sound natural. Close mics don't sound natural. You got to add a little bit of vibe around them, because if you're in a room, you would have all that stuff, reverb and stuff. Okay, currently I have the volume at about 4.5 and the tone at about 5.5. And check it out. So all the way up, let's start with... We'll start with the bridge pickup, because this is where this is. That is awesome. That is freaking awesome. And if you're like, well, where's the clean channel? So it's built into your guitar. You go to your neck pickup and you just turn the volume up a little bit, or if you're all the way up, you just roll the volume back, and now I'm learning how to play clean. I mean, it's just stunning. And that is really good sounding and really versatile, and that's just volume and tone on the guitar. I mean, it's really just volume on the guitar and then volume and tone on the amp. Now, let's turn the amp up to 8. And let's just start with that. Volume up to 8. So that's the only difference. Let's see how the cleanup is now. Right now we're driving a lot harder. Now we're driving a lot harder, so it doesn't clean up as well. I mean, that is really good sounding. Now, I'm gonna turn the volume back down because to me that's a little bit too. That's if I want that much gain, I'm gonna hit it with a boost pedal because I want to start with a little more of like it, you know, it can do multiple stuff. So here the volume is at about 10 o'clock, right? Whatever that would be. There's no numbers on the amp. So now my cleanup is here. Which is just, that's absolutely lovely. Right, and then full blast. That is what's up. Okay, tone control, all the way down. All the way up. All the way up. And then back in the middle. It's a really sweet musical tone control. It's a little too dark when it's all the way down, and it's not too bright when it's all the way up, which is really, really stunning. We'll try a second guitar, but first things first. I'm gonna pull the EL84s. I'm gonna put in the 6 AQ5s, and I'm really excited about this. Now, they ship with adapters, so you can use either one. If the 6 AQ5s are my vibe, I'm probably gonna get Adam, or I'll do it myself, to put in a set of 7-pin tube sockets, because I think it's 7-pin, whatever it is. I'll have, because it's just another point of failure with the adapters. And I gotta be honest, I don't want the traditional tubes. But let's see what happens. So we have some sound control here. We have some sound comparisons. I mean, it sounds so good. If it has to stay with the EL84s, then that's fine because it sounds phenomenal. But let's see what happens when we change it up. And we're back. Okay, I have sound. That's the first time me just making sure that I have sound. I think I set up a second camera now where you can see the knobs, but this is exciting. I'm really excited. Okay, 6 AQ5s. They're a little smaller than an EL84. And they sound really good. And you know what? They're a little lower gain, which I kind of like for this circuit. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Or at least these, I think, are lower gain. Or they're doing something different with the circuit. You know, who knows? I mean, that is freaking magic. I'm really excited about that. Let's dime it. Let's see if we can blow the tubes up. Let's try that. Let's give them a second to heat up. Let's not dime it right away. I'm sure that it probably doesn't have much to do with anything, but I'm gonna turn the tone up a little bit. All right, let's. I mean, okay, it's hard to talk about the little intricacies of the tubes. I'm in in-ear monitors. I'm only using one guitar. I can grab other guitars, but like that feels a little bit less gainy and a little more three-dimensional to me. Now, what is that noise? One of those tubes is red plating. So let's make sure I put everything in properly. Okay, I took them out, I put them back in. Let's see where we're at here. Seems to be working. So it may be that I had one of the adapters in wrong, which would have then been giving too much current to one tube, which would have been a bummer. And it still sounds great. So we'll see. I mean, and here's the other joy. If these tubes burn out, if I burn out a tube, replacing it is $5 as opposed to $50 or $75 or whatever those other tubes cost. So all I did was I pulled the adapters out, put them back in, made sure everything was lined up right. I probably didn't have something lined up properly. That sounds freaking awesome. I don't know why I'm yelling at you. Every video, it's awesome. Okay, cameras are overheating. So let me give the tubes a second to heat up and see if we get that oscillation back. And then also, let me let the cameras cool down for a second. And then we're gonna start hitting it with pedals. And we are back. All right, so I took out the tubes that Adam sent me and I put in a set of these cool old GE. Let's see if I can get that to show up. There we go. Can you see that in the light? There we are. These are some rad old GE tubes I got for $5 each. All right, so I have to look it up, but I know I think a set of old GE tubes, like 6V6s or EL84s, is probably $75 or $80 a piece. So, you know, tubes, this is part of the nature of tube amps. Tube amps, tubes die, tubes need to be replaced, blah, 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 blah. So we got the new tubes in. We're gonna see if that was the problem. The other problem could be that it's something internal, but the reality is that, you know, I had EL84s in there, they were doing fine. So it was probably either I put one of those adapters in wrong, or just one of the tubes was going bad, and that is a really, I don't want to say, it's a pretty common thing, and you hear about it all the time, and so this is why I want to be able to get tubes. I want to be able to retube the amp without it costing $1 million. I don't make enough money for that. So here we are. 6AQ5s. That sounds gigantic. Let's dime it real quick. Let's not do that yet. Let's do that at the end. So next thing, let's hit it with the Boss SD1. That's freaking rad. Okay, so the thing I love about the SD1 too, and the Klon does the same thing. It kind of cuts out some of the lows and then pushes the mids, right, which is going to help me cut. It gives me a little bit more of that kind of springy bottom. Okay, without it. Now, go figure, that's a great rhythm tone. You know, when you talk about oh, I don't have the right channels, I don't have all this stuff, it's like, look, I got a clean channel here. Right? I got a rhythm channel, I got a dirty, crunchy channel here. And then if I need to have a lead channel, then I just step on my trusty old SD1. That's freaking cool. Now let's get the Pelion going. Pelion is it's a Kasleder Pelion, and it this is basically a Klon style pedal. And I'll put the images of how they're set. They're set for me. Kind of. The SD1 actually could have a little more boost to it. But basically, the drive is down, output's up. It's so good. All right. Now, last things last. By the way, I tried to film the second part after I put the GEs in, and then the camera died. And that one's still doing okay. So, I don't... These have been going for quite a while. So clearly I think the problem was the tube. Although, if by the time I get this edited, I'll have played the amp a bunch more. If for some reason it's not the tube, I probably just won't post the video because I'll get in contact with Adam. But the reality is that clearly, to me at this point, the problem was the tube, not anything with the amp. And that's a good lesson for us, right? I mean, at least for me, I'm always like, oh no, what's wrong? And it's usually like the simplest thing, man. New power tube. Simple enough. So let's dime it. Let's put it all the way up. Everything full on. That's pretty awesome. I mean, it's ridiculous. I would never play like that. But let's add let's get the SD1 with the, well, no, because I don't want to change the settings. Let's do the Pelion. That's ridiculous. The reality is it really did sound great, but getting back to a more reasonable volume. I mean, that is a happy place sound for me. So let me wrap up. I know this is already a longer video than it should be to demonstrate an amp, but this guy takes multiple. I've had that in the shot the whole time. Okay. All right, whatever. I'm still moving. Cut me some break. Okay, I'm learning words. Whatever. Point is, handmade in the USA, in San Diego, by a dude who knows his stuff. And when we were talking about tubes and stuff, you know, I was talking about weird tubes and like, what about this and what about that? And he was like, you should try this. That's what you were playing in that room. And it really is magic. And for me, I love the 6AQ5s. I'm really excited. I got a spare pair of EL84s out of the deal, so that's pretty sweet too. And you know, in there, I've got like it's a vintage rectifier. There's like a real Muller 12AX7 in there. Like it's quality stuff from a quality dude who knows what he is doing. And when you look inside, you go, oh, that's what a hand-built, like super simple killer amp should look like. Volume and tone control, it's all you need. It's what it should sound like. The cab is great. Everything is great. And look, I bought the amp. This is not, no one gave me this amp. This is a free advertisement for like my, 200 views or whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Adam. I'm a fan of Satellite Amps. Hopefully there's more to come, and thank you for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it, and I probably wouldn't have done all the testing if I wasn't making the video. Oh. And Enzo's here. Hi, Bubba. Thanks for hanging.